Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well and I hope you are studying for the forthcoming examination. My dear students, in today's class we are going to study the new chapter probability. This is the first lecture on the topic probability. Before I start the topic probability, we will see the weightage given from this topic probability. In this case, you will be given one 1 mark question, one 2 mark question, one 3 mark question, and one 5 mark question. In total, you will be getting 11 marks from this topic probability. Dear students, in earlier classes, we studied about the concept of probability. Means it is a measure of uncertainty of various phenomena. We have obtained the probability of getting an even numbers in throwing a die as 3 by 6, that is 1 by 2. In general, to obtain the probability of an event, we find the ratio of the number of outcomes favorable to the event to the total number of equally likely outcomes. This theory of probability is known as classical theory of probabilities. My dear students, in last year's syllabus, we have studied the few theories of probabilities. Namely, the first one is known as classical theory. Second one is known as statistical theory. And the third one is axiomatic approach to a probability. Let me convince you once again, dear students, these already we have studied in last year's syllabus. Let me convince once again the meaning of all these theories. The first theory, which is known as the classical theory of probability. In this case, we have seen that to obtain the probability of any event, we find it's a ratio of number of outcomes favorable to the eventee. That is, the probability of any event is always equal to the probability of favorable event divided by the total number of equally likely outcomes, that is P of F divided by P of S. This type of theory is known as classical theory of probability. Theory. In class 11, we learned to find the probability on the basis of observations and collected data. This type of theory is known as statistical approach of probability. In this case, both the theories have some serious difficulties. For example, these theories cannot be applied to the experiments which have infinite number of outcomes. These theories are failed to apply if the outcomes are uncountable. In classical theory, we assume all the outcomes to be equally likely. Recall that the outcomes are called equally likely when we have no reason to believe that one is more likely to occur than the other. In other words, we assume that all the outcomes have equal chance to occur. To define the probability, we used equally likely or equally probable outcomes. This is logically not a correct definition. Thus, another theory of probability was developed, which is known as the axiomatic theory of probability. We will study about this approach called the approach of axiomatic approach of probability. To understand this approach, we must know about few basic terms, namely the random experiment, then sample space, events, sample points, complementary events, impossible event, sure event, etc. These are the important keywords which are helpful to study this year probability. Dear students, in this year syllabus, we are going to study the new probability which is called the conditional probability. And here we are going to define the definition of the conditional probability goes like this. If E and F are any two events associated with a sample space of a random experiment, the conditional probability of that event E, given that F has occurred and it is given by P of E given F, is equal to probability of E intersection F divided by P of F, provided P of F is not equal to 0. Dear students, the probability of an event E given F will be given by the formula P of E intersection F divided by P of F, provided the denominator probability is non-zero. With the help of this definition or the given formula, we are going to study some properties of conditional probability, and also we are going to solve few examples. Dear students, let me begin with the first properties of conditional probability. Any random, then we have to show that P of S given F is always equal to P of F given F, and that is always equal to 1. This is the property which is expected in the examination for 1 mark. Now, as we know that P of S given F, P of S given F, according to the conditional probability, the formula goes like this: P of S intersection F divided by P of F. But F is an event of a sample space. Yes, the intersection of these two sets is again a same event F. Therefore, P of S intersection F is always equal to P of F, and denominator P of F remains as it is, that is equal to 1. Therefore, this is the important property for the exam point of view, which is expected for 1 marks in the part A section, question number 10. In this case also we have been given that we have to prove P of F given F. Now in the above formula we replace S by F, therefore it gives P of F intersection F divided by P of F, but the intersection between the same event is again a event F, therefore P of F divided by P of F is equal to 1. Hence P of S given F is equal to P of F given F is equal to 1. Dear students, I suggest you to learn this theorem, which is expected for 1 mark question in forthcoming examination. Let me begin with the second properties of conditional probability. Here, if A and B are any two events of a sample space S and F is an event of S such that P of F is not equal to 0, then let me prove that P of A given A union B given F is always equal to P of A given F plus P of B given F minus P of A intersection B given F. In particular, we also prove that if A and B are disjoint events, then we have P of A union B given F is equal to P of A given F plus P of B given F. Let me begin with the solution of this theorem or the property. We have been given that P of A union B given F is equal to, by the definition of conditional probability, we write this as P of A union B intersection F divided by P of F. As we know the distributive law over intersection over union or union over intersection, and it is written as P of A intersection F union B intersection F divided by P of F. This is by distributive law of union of sets over intersection. Now here we can observe carefully. We can write P of A intersection F plus P of B intersection F minus P of A intersection B intersection F. This is the probability of A union B formula. Probability of A union B is given by, it is P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. With the help of this formula, we are going to write P of A intersection F plus P of B intersection F minus P of A intersection B intersection F divided by P of F. Now we separate the denominator for all these three numerators. Therefore, it becomes P of A intersection F divided by P of F, P of B intersection F divided by P of F minus P of A intersection B intersection F divided by P of F. As we know the definition of the conditional probability, it is P of A given F plus P of B given F and minus P of A intersection B given F. Thus, P of A intersection F given B is always equal to P of A given B, P of A given F plus P of B given F minus P of A intersection B given F. Now, if A and B are disjoint events, then P of A intersection B given F will be equal to 0. Therefore, we have the particular case P of A union B given F is equal to P of A given F plus P of B given F, because the last term of the conditional probability will be 0. Therefore, we are left with P of A union B given F is always equal to P of A given F plus P of B given F. Now moving to the third properties of conditional probability. Prove that P of E dash given F is equal to 1 minus P of E given F. We know that P of S given F is always equal to 1. Therefore, P of E union E dash given F is equal to 1. Because as we know that the sample space is always equal to the union between any set and its complement. Or F union F dash is always equal to S. By this definition, we can write off P of E given F by using the earlier theorem plus P of E dash given F is always equal to 1. We want to know that P of E dash given F is equal to, we bring this term to the right hand side, it gives 1 minus P of E given F. This is also an important property for the exam point of view, which is expected in the examination for 2 marks. Therefore, my dear students, these are the 3 important properties which are expected for the examination 1 and 2 marks. Dear students, let me solve 1 or 2 examples so that it will be easy to understand the conditional probability. If P of A is 7 by 13, P of B is 9 by 13 and P of A given B is equal to 4 by 13, then let me find out P of A given B. Solution. By the definition of conditional probability, we get P of A given B is equal to P of A intersection B divided by P of B. But it is given that P of A intersection B is 4 by 13 and P of B is 9 by 13. 13 cancels, we are left with 4 by 9. Therefore, the probability of A given B is equal to 4 by 9. Similarly, they may ask in the examination probability of B given E. The formula will be given by P of A intersection B P of A intersection B divided by P of A. Therefore, P of A intersection B is 4 by 13 divided by P of B A is 7 by 13. Therefore, the 13 cancels. We'll get the answer for this as 4 by 7. Now moving to the next question. A family has 2 children. Then what is the probability that both the children are boys, given that at least one of them is a boy? Now let me begin with the solution of this problem. Let B stands for boy and G stands for girl. The sample space of the random experiment S is equal to BB, GB, BG and GG. Therefore, the number of elements in this sample space are nothing but n of S is equal to 4. Let E and F be the two events. E says both the children are boys. F, at least one of the child is a boy. Then the event E can be written as both the children are boys. Therefore, there is only one sample point in the event E. And the event F, one of the two child is a boy. Therefore, the elements of this event F are BB, GB and BG. And the intersection of these two events is only singleton, that is a simple event B, B. Now we should find probability of all these events. Therefore, P of F is equal to 3 by 4 and P of E intersection F is equal to 1 by 5. Therefore, the probability of E given F is equal to P of E of intersection F is 1 by 4 and P of F is equal to 3 by 4. 4 cancels. We get the probability as 1 by 3. Dear students, I hope you have understood this year's syllabus, which we have been started with conditional probability. In the next class, we are going to solve few more examples on the conditional probability. I hope the basic definition of the conditional probability is understood. If you have any queries, please contact the given below number. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.